Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. It has been absolutely amazing. Dude, JJK is back and in like full form. So far we have the first 4 episodes and it has been a bit of a roller coaster. We had the first 2, the 2-episode premiere, the NFL's posting about it, ton of hype, ton of marketing, which we really never see. So that was awesome. But then you have, the controversial episode 3. Okay, listen, it's not rated that bad. It's like, what, a 7.8? JJK's had worse ratings. It just sparked a lot of infighting between the community, but then it's followed up by episode 4, which has just been nothing but beautiful. It dropped today, and let me just say, one of my favorite episodes by far in JJK. So fucking good. We talked about the first 2 episodes on the podcast that we drop damn near every week, talking about the animes that are dropping currently. It is a ton of fun, but what do you think of episode 3 and episode 4, especially because you are, like, way into the manga, you know what I mean? You're a huge fan. You know the shit. You know what I mean? So what was your, like, thoughts about episodes 3, episodes 4?
Just to back up his claims, here's a brand new Gojo figure I won from yet another claw machine, baby. Shibuya Gojo.
You got that from a claw machine?
Dude, hell yeah. My boy.
Damn,
say hi.
Bro's got skills.
Dude, I got a very expensive Takakura Ken as well.
Yo, let's go.
Just saying. Watch me on the claw machines. But I knew this season would be super hype. Like, if you had seen the movie, you saw the first 2 episodes, so it's just kind of like a hype builder. You get them both at the same time. I enjoyed it, but episode 3 was, like, a little dragged out. Like, there was a lot of dialogue, and, like, if you weren't a maybe, like, hardcore fan, like a weekly leak reader, which we would never do. We would never sail the 7 seas.
No.
Totally perverted and disgusting. Like,
could never be us.
If you were never. But like if you were a hardcore fan, like I could see you being disappointed or maybe like bored with that episode. I felt like there was a lot of dialogue, which isn't always a bad thing, but I think with JJK, which is a very unique situation, the leaks, the hype, just like the videos of like panels or like clips of that episode leaking early, people know a lot more than is released for anime onlys, excuse me. Episode 3 was pretty important as far as like the lore and stuff with Yuki. Like you have Tengen and like a little bit of foreshadowing, which I'm not going to get into yet, but like there's some really good writing there. But like you kind of miss it being like, oh, like I want the shonen battle action. I want Yuji beating on Sukuna. Like you want the action, and I totally understand that. And that's really what Jujutsu Kaisen is. It is a very prototypical shonen done extremely well, in my opinion, but you have to have those moments of dialogue and build up and story. And this is our first like official, anime like conversation with Tengen. And I think that was very important in what pretty sure it was confirmed to have been a woman.
Yo, I'm fucking pissed because after the episode, I saw like panels of like peak Tengen, and I'm like, what the fuck did we get?
She was hot!
Bro, like,
she was hot!
I'm just saying the episode would be a lot better if we got that version of her. Like, what the fuck's this? Fucking bullshit
like,
is what it is.
Just give me a silhouette,
Yeah,
but
not this.
Tengen was sexy back in the day. But now, when you're some weird intermediary human cursed spirit amalgamation, you look a little different. Like a thumb with multiple eyes. And I love how she tells Yuji, well, you would look like this if you lived for 500 years.
Which is facts. Yeah, she's got a good point there. She got him on that one.
No one in my family's lived for 500 years, so I'll take your word for it. But, like, even her, like, little monologue about the barrier and, like, keeping it up and the interference of Toji, Megumi's dad, like,
so
it kind
cool,
of, like,
by the way, too.
Yeah, and it, like, pulls a lot of things together, and it's like, all right, this is the core of the Jujutsu Kaisen story, which, like, if you're looking for that classic shonen battle, you're going to miss that, but I do feel like episode 3 on the surface was boring, but if you're a real hardcore JJK fan, like myself, couple tattoos, but, it's not, but, like, you would really appreciate how they delivered the story. It was animated well. You can clearly tell Mappa is, like, 120% invested into this, so episode 3 was a little slow, but episode 4 you're like, oh yeah, this is what we're here for.
Yeah, like I don't think episode 3 is bad. I think the controversy is that the anime onlys didn't like it. And I saw people were throwing shade that God forbid an episode has like some kind of like reading comprehension that you need and people like lose their minds. I'm like, bro, here's the thing. As someone who's like anime only for JJK, right? I didn't think the episode was bad. I thought it was very, very important because it's about to get fucking crazy, right? There's a lot going on, a lot lore-wise. These curses and shit can get pretty complicated, and we're about to meet, like, what, 20 new cast members? There's about to be some insane new showdowns and fights, and it's about to be so fast-paced. You kind of need that episode, especially in a 24-episode season. Just sack an episode, have it be about, like, hey, here's what's about to happen, so no one gets lost, everyone's on the same page, we're good. It's a necessity. Does that mean it's entertaining? No. Even though I understood everything that was happening in that episode, and I thought it was very well explained, especially like shown as well. It was like, okay, cool, like I get this, I'm with it.
Which is also very rare for JJK. Yeah. It's very like
they did
infer and assume. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
But like, it was still boring as fuck. It was still in this one room yapping for an entire episode, like an entire fucking episode in this room yapping.
And they were like, oh, we'll cut to like Yuki from behind a couple times, and that'll keep them happy. It's like, all right, you know, we got the booty shot in the jeans. Looks great. Yuki's been working out. But that's not enough.
Bro, it's like that episode from Chainsaw Man where like it's Denji and Power fighting, and it just cuts to Makima's ass for like a solid like 30, 40 seconds. Just an unnecessary amount of time, and it's like, just what's going on? It's like,
and at first you're like,
Mappa knows.
Oh, this it totally disrupts the flow of the story.
What's the story again?
Great episode. Really good stuff.
Bro, I was rewatching it. I saw that episode again. I was like, dude, I completely forgot about this. Like, Mappa is kind of out of control.
Somebody in that studio board knows what the boys are looking for.
Yo.
They're playing diabolical games.
For real. But, yo, important episode, boring, but, like, I think it's going to pay dividends down the road, especially for this amazing season we have coming up. And then, of course, it is followed up with Maki's episode, which I thought was so fucking good. Again, very well explained of what happened, because the beginning part with her and her sister, it kind of like gets into a whole lot, especially with like the heavenly pact or whatever, and then you kind of understand like what she did and kind of what happened, how Maki became like Toji reincarnated, like just an absolute beast, a monster. Dude, when she cut off her dad's head, fucking so fucking clean. Bro, Maki's so fucking OP, it's insane. But I feel like they did an awesome job like explaining everything. The cinematic with it too, of like her and sister like on the shore, was so fucking cool, dude. It reminded me of when what's it called? Yuji was going through like it was like the wolf kind of thing in the snow. It kind of brought me back to that, where I'm like, yo, they're kind of getting artsy with it. They're kind of getting fucking fancy. Like, I love the symbolic shit. So like, it's like it was really, really good. And then the animation of just Maki fucking slaughtering everybody. Dude, is the blonde guy dead? I mean, I've never seen somebody with such an ego, such narcissism, get fucking bitch slapped. Get fucking thrown from the top to the bottom as quickly as him. They brought him in this season. It's been a fucking episode of him being like, oh yeah, I'm the new head. I'm so fucking good. I'm gonna kill Mega Bean, to getting fucking walked by fucking Choso, getting absolutely bitch slapped by him, has his tail between his legs, goes back to his family, and gets walked by Maki. It's like, dude, you're a pussy. You are getting... Dude, he got Mortal Kombat, like, skull crushed. Like, she put the work on him. I've never seen a character, like, fall from grace that fucking fast. It was insane.
And the way he's written, Naoya is so good, because he's a complete piece of shit misogynist. He has the ego the size of the biggest person you've ever met.
Yep.
He's really not that tough. Got dog walked by Choso, like you said. We watched him get absolutely walked by Maki. No diff.
Yeah.
And like, but for some reason, it's like, I fucking love it. I love that character and like how you brought him in. And then like they do a couple really sick scenes, like with him seeing Toji and like, why is he so strong and shit? Like, I think that's really well done. And it kind of like brings you to see why Naoya feels the way he does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a fucking horrible person.
But it's so fun to get to see him get his ass kicked constantly. He's 0-2 in 4 episodes. This fucking ratio is pristine.
Incredible ratio, bro. Incredible as a fan. And like, I think that's a really good aspect of like this whole situation, but it also like, kind of like you touched on earlier, dives deeper into what the Heavenly Pact is, what Heavenly Restriction is. Naoya speaks about that with Toji, and you're kind of like, well, what is all this? The whole like curse of being a twin, I thought was really interesting too, and then like how it's resolved. As somebody who's a twin, you know, I'm sure my parents feel the financial curse, but you know, or did at one point, but now that I'm ancient. But I think it's just kind of really well done how they gave us information and explained things and like, all right, here's all this shit you've been hearing about for 2 seasons, kind of broken down more simply with less action in front of it. So
Yeah.
I do think episode 3 was important for that, but episode 4, dude, just that's what you're looking for. Extremely entertaining.
Dude, it was so fucking good, and I'm hoping that this is like the appetizer for an insane season. I'm so excited. I keep seeing little spoilers here and there. Some of the new characters we're gonna meet. I have heard
Oh,
about
yeah.
some of the matchups. I don't know the results, thank God, but I've heard some of the matchups. I'm like, yo, no fucking shot. So I think that episode 3 again, it was such a necessity, and especially too, if you're having 24 episodes, yeah, throw one of them away. You know what I mean? Take one episode out of 24. No one's gonna care, and just have it be boring. Have it be like, hey, we're gonna explain everything, so you're not lost the entire time. And I feel like that's gonna be huge moving forward. Like, arguably, it's gonna be one of the most
Yes.
important episodes of the season because it's gonna keep you enjoying the content instead of being like, hey, wait, I don't get this. Oh, I don't get that. You know what I mean? Like, we literally went over what's going on, the game plan of what we need to do. Like, we have our win conditions in this fight. You know, like, it got
Yeah,
all
yeah.
laid out. It was like a coach being, all right, boys, we're in the Super Bowl. Here's exactly how we're gonna do everything. We're breaking down
Yes.
everything. We're going over our plan. We got this, right? I think it's all gonna get thrown out the fucking window. I'm pretty sure it can't be that easy, but I cannot wait. It's gonna be absolutely dope. And yeah, episode 4 was incredible. I mean, we already had people dying. The whole thing with Maki's mom, like, it has been fucking insane. I cannot wait for the next episode. Like JJK is really all over the place, but so entertaining at the same time. And I just saw something because I was like kind of like thinking about, like, you know, why don't I like? Why is like a part of me that's like, like, why, like, a part of me loves JJK and a part of me like, and I think the part of me that's like is because I keep thinking of Yuji as the MC, and he's not the MC. He's not at all. He's just the introduction into the story. It's the story we're following, not a specific character. And I literally just saw a TikTok too of someone talking about it, where the author came out and was like, yo, he's not even supposed to be the MC. He's supposed to be a background character, and Megumi was supposed to be. But Shojin Jump was like, yeah, no, he's too edgy. You know what I mean? It's like too dark. No one's gonna follow it. So they changed Yuji to be the MC, which is why he doesn't feel like it. And I'm like, that makes so much sense. I'm like, yo, looking back on it, yeah, I heavily fuck with JJK. Then if you look at it from like, instead of following Yuji as the MC, instead of just following, instead you're following the story as a whole. I'm like, yo, this is fucking awesome. This is pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? There's not that part enemy that's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I was like, all right, I'm on board. I'm took 3 seasons, but I'm here.
I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen and being like a super hardcore fan, like I know a good bit about it.
Mm-hmm.
You're exactly right, and you raise an excellent point. JJK feels like kind of messy
Yeah.
or like thrown together,
Mm-hmm.
especially from the first season. You're like, what the fuck am I watching?
Mm-hmm.
Shonen Jump wanted Megumi to be like the focus, the badass technique, the legendary family, the cursed sister, perfect MC. Akutami, the author, wanted Yuta to be the main character.
Oh, is
Got the,
that what it was?
yeah, but like the good backstory,
Mm-hmm.
Rika and the ring and everything. You're like, that would make a great story. And at the end of the day, Akutami was just like, make Yuji the introduction to the story, like you said, be the main character. But his role, which is explained immediately in the first couple episodes with his grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
be a cog and be a player in the story, to not be the MC, but just be a cog in the story.
Yeah.
Play a role. Doesn't matter what that role is, just be there. And that's what Yuji's character really represents. And like, even in the part 2, like, he's the same way. That's like his role. And I think that's incredibly well done. And although it feels incredibly messy, I think at the end of the story, you look back and you're like, damn, like I love the way that built up and kind of like came together. So yeah, Yuji's a very weird character, especially now. Like it feels almost forced. The fact that like,
Yeah.
like Choso is just glazing his little brother. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, well, Yuji's basically like 0 for 100 in all of his fights. And then he gets smoked by Yuta. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
Yuji's cool, like you like him, but he's not that good. Like he sucks. But he was also thrust into this position. So like how could he be the MC? But it does tie together very well. It feels messy right now, but at the end of the day, like they've done a very good job of tying that together despite Shonen Jump and Akutami having both very different opinions and them coming to a third one.
Well, no, it feels messy because of the way it's presented. Because like, if you're like anime only and you're first watching JJK and you're watching season 1 as it's dropping, you're like, all right, bet. So this guy Yuji, he's the MC. It's kind of like Naruto, kind of like you have the trio. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, cool. And then you follow them in season
Right.
1. You're like, all right, this is fucking awesome. I love this. This is great. And then the movie, is like nothing to do with any of them. And I'm like, wait, okay, like this is pretty cool, but like, and then the start of season 2, before even that, and it's like dude, like what the fuck's going on? It's like you got to realize that like there's so many people who have really complicated and cool stories. You know what I mean? And they are kind of the MCs. There, we go from one to the other to the other. Because you have Yuta, you have Megami, you have Gojo, right? You have the three families, right? You have Fate that's combining the Six Eyes with Tengen, and then with the Spirit Vessel. Like it's so fucking cool. So it's like it's weird if you're anime only and you're following it as it dropped, because what you thought it would be isn't. But once you realize that like Yuji's actually like just the introduction, he's not the MC, you stop yearning for it. You stop being like, okay, well, where's Yuji? Why isn't Yuji at the start of this episode? You know what I mean? But that's the thing that always got me. I'm like, dude, I want to see the trio. I want to see Yuji. I want to see like the typical like Naruto type of bullshit. But then when you realize like, oh, he's not the MC, like, okay, we'll have to look at this at a different perspective. Like, all right, well, this fucking slaps because like this story is amazing. You know what I mean? So if you stop thinking about him as like the center of it, and instead just look at the world that's progressing and moving, you know, it's like, oh, this is way fucking cooler. You know what I mean? It's just like there's that part of me that's like that doesn't look at it as like a weird thing anymore. It like makes more sense. Especially because look at the season. You have Yuji and Yuta in the beginning, and then it jumps to the Tengen thing, and then it jumps to just straight Maki. Like Maki thing had nothing to do with anybody, but like Maki's one of the main characters. You know what I mean? Like she's, you know, that's why it's just a whole episode and why that's important. And the Zenin clan, you know what I mean? It's not about Yuji, it's about that.
And like even at the end of the manga, like it literally diverts and like all comes back, and like it's very weirdly written, but it does work. I I think you might be the only Jujutsu Kaisen fan, although you are anime only with reading comprehension. You haven't been afflicted by the curse. I gotta say, I'm impressed. Nah, but like you're exactly right. Like Yuji was never meant to be that like Ichigo, Naruto, Goku type of main character. And I think once you, like you said, once you stop yearning for that, and you will get that at the end of the show, but like it's not that right now, and like that's part of Yuji's character, the struggle, the grind, and they do a great job of bringing you through that the whole time. And like at times it's boring or it's hard to watch, but like I think it makes Yuji a lot more relatable, and at the end it really like justifies his character and a lot of his decisions too. And one thing I also wanted to say too, if you're an anime only, totally fine, very enjoyable, great experience. But you get like animes like Jujutsu Kaisen where you're like, yeah, what the fuck am I watching? Like it's sick, but I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Fate. Like if you read the visual novel or the manga, like you get the editor's notes and the author's notes and like certain panels explaining. And I remember like Jujutsu Kaisen was the first manga that I like really got into early, like week to week. And Akutami would put in like pages of notes and like who characters were and blah, blah, blah. But like you got a better idea of what you were reading because you weren't watching it, but also you had more information about the story and like the mechanics of how things work versus just being an anime only. So I think that does really affect like the perception of JJK, but for the exact reason it does, like manga versus anime, and neither is right or wrong, but it exemplifies why like anime onlys may feel like this is really confusing at times.
Like low key, I think too it comes down to the animation kind of shit too, like the way it's animated, because like I'm like it's easy to get baited into like, oh, it's a normal shonen if that's the way you portrayed it. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to fall for that. You just like think about this though. If we had the first 6 episodes of season 2, and that's what dropped, and then the movie, and then season 1, and then the second half of season 2 type of thing, I feel like it's way easier to follow that, hey, we're following a story, not an MC. You know what I mean? I think that the whole beginning, the order of it, completely throws you off. So I think that that's a good thing for any future anime onlys that watch JJK. If you watch in the correct order, you're probably going to have a way better fucking experience, too. You know what I mean? It's going to be like way easier to like pick up on things and enjoy it instead of kind of getting thrown to all these different timelines in a way.
I would love to watch like the chronological order of JJK versus like the story way, because I think the story way, you like it feels messy as fuck, but then when we get to the end of it, you're like, wow, this was like really creative and well done. But if you watch it like chronologically, I feel like you would know more and have a better understanding of it in time, like as you're watching it. I feel like it's like a tough debate, but that to me, my personal opinion, relates to like Akutami is a good writer. Like you have mystery, you have like things you're unsure about in the writing, and like the power system, the curse techniques. Like there's so much about JJK that makes it like very unexplained, I guess, for a lack of a better word.
Well, you said it, it's like Fate and stuff. Like there's certain animes like that where it's like a question and answer type of thing. Like they bring up a question, right? They bring up a mystery, something that confuses you, something you don't quite understand, right? And they're not gonna blatantly tell you. Instead, you're gonna discover the answer, throughout the season, throughout the episodes. You know what I mean? And like those animes can kind of be like frustrating for certain people because like you just want it explained to you, like, hey, don't make me go looking for it. You know what I mean? Like it's like with certain video games, right? Certain video games are very straightforward, very easy. Like, here, go through this door, do this, interact with that. And you have other games like Souls games where it's like you have discovery. It's a journey. You have to go out, venture out, figure it the fuck out. Some of it's up to interpretation. You're not always going to get an answer. You know what I mean? Some of the beauty of the story is you coming up with your own idea of it. You know what I mean? And there's certain enemies like that with like JJK and stuff where it's just like some people aren't gonna like it, and that's fair, right? It's not what you're used to.
Sure.
But at the same time, too, it's pretty fucking goated. You know what I mean? When it's done right, it's pretty fucking clean, and that's what it seems like JJK does really well.
You ever play any of the Souls games?
Oh, fucking Elden Ring? Oh, I fucked that shit up.
Art, brother. Now, you make a super good like analogy there. Like, it's very true about what you said. Like, it's hard to see the forest for the trees, so to speak, right now, but when you get to the end of it, you're like, oh yeah, looking back, like that was well written, or like those flashbacks were sick, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's also on like the new gen manga and anime to kind of break free from the typical shonen stereotypes or tropes that we've seen with Naruto, Bleach, and Dragon Ball and whatever. They're tropes because they were so good and like so many people tried to copy them. It's not to say those animes were bad in any way. They're legendary. But at the same time, like, to break free from them and be creative and different, I think Jujutsu Kaisen does a really good job of that. And episode 3 and 4 kind of are like a good early tip into this season where it says, yeah, you're going to get the story, the dialogue, and the lore, but you're also going to get the badass moments and like really good fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's so fucking good. It's awesome, and this season has been nothing but phenomenal as well. I completely agree. I cannot wait. I mean, 24 episodes, like, yo, I cannot get over that. We are in for a treat. One last thing, though. Should we talk about the absolute dog that is fucking Yuji's dad? So, bro knew that his wife was dead and that some old dude was possessing her dead body, and he still was like, hey, yo, let me get some of that. Multiple times until they had a child. Like,
so of all the villains in anime, right? With everybody with a plan, all the people you've ever seen in anime, Aizen from Bleach, Obito from Naruto.
Yeah.
How many of them put themselves inside a hot woman's body and took bat shots? How many of them took load after load? Nobody. Gave birth to a demon son.
Can you imagine if Aizen... Can you imagine if Aizen went to Ichigo and be like, yo, I fucked your dad?
Just saying, bro. I piped your old man. Went to the bar one night. No, I'm kidding.
But like, bro.
But like, Kenjaku is fucking dedicated. This plan, like, if you like stop being silly for a moment and like look at it from like a bigger perspective, it's like, this is a 1,000-year plan. He got Skuna to agree. He got the people we're gonna meet in this season to agree. Hundreds or 1,000 years later, that what I'm planning is more important than whatever you think you're doing. And they agreed to it. The strongest sorcerers of their era. So like, when you think Kenjaku stopped to bang this random dude to have a kid, and he ended up being a vessel for the king of curses, it really goes to speak to how good the writing is. Kenjaku is set up as a villain, like his relation to Gojo and how he gets Geto's body, like, dude, so good. Also, I'm gonna say it again, the only villain in major shonen history to take back shots for the game, for the plan.
Listen, I'm just saying, like, I'm not against him. I'm just saying Yuji's dad knew and still was down. That's the problem. Like,
didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, Yuji's dad even was told, like, hey, yo, you should stop that. He's like, nah, dad, I got this, right? Because it was Yuji's grandfather was like, hey, yo, this is fucking weird, bro. Like, take a step back. And in the manga,
the way he says it is like, she's bad for you. She's a bad woman for you. And he's like, don't talk about her like that. She's pregnant with my man. Like, and she walks in with the massive scars on her head and is like, hey, grandpa, what are you talking about? Like, real creepy. And you're like, ugh, how did he fuck her? Or how did he, it's weird. But like, dude, I feel like the writing on that aspect is very underrated and understated because it's pretty fucking weird, but at the same time, like, speaks to how diabolical Kenjaku is.
Well, it's funny because like like anime MCs, they don't have to talk about their parents, right? No family. It can never be a thing, right? Yuji's one of the one people that really has a good excuse to be like, hey, I don't want to talk about mom and dad. I just don't want to talk about them. He has a whole new level of family drama. Like
And like
that's fucking
the best
crazy.
part is it's like so unspoken. And know what? Like Gojo,
Mm-hmm.
horrible teacher. He's not like, hey, whoa, I know all about this stuff. And like, this is fucked up. Do you need like a shoulder to cry on, or like, this is pretty crazy. Do you need someone to talk to? No, just keep fighting,
Yeah,
keep fucking these people up.
yeah, you got
Even though
this.
they're your family, go fight your brother, kill two of your other brothers. Like, it's insane how they line it up. Like, but once you get all the information at the end, I feel like that makes it as impactful as I feel it is.
But that's cool because it's like secondary effects because like you have something that happens, you're like, oh, this is fucking awesome. But then it's further explained later on. You're like, oh, that was fucking awesome. Like JJK is
Yeah,
definitely an anime too, where it's gonna be really cool because once the anime's done, I think I am gonna go back and watch it in like chronological order because like I feel like when you know everything, and this is what I hate. I'm gonna be honest. As someone who like will read mangas, right, of certain like animes that are dropping right now, shit like that. I hate sometimes when fucking manga readers sit there and they're like, "Oh, like how don't you know this, bro?" You know what I mean? Like, bitch, you fucking went through the whole story already. Like, what do you mean? Don't fucking act like you're like the same smart as me. Like, that's gonna be the cool part of finishing JJK and then watching it, knowing everything. Because then you're gonna see everything, every single little thing. You know what I mean? It's all gonna make sense. It's gonna be like, "Oh my god, that was fucking awesome." Like manga readers right now are like, "Yo, that was fucking awesome." Like, you don't think so? Like, you're an idiot. How would you understand this? It's like, bro, because I haven't fucking read the story,
you have
motherfucker.
the cliff notes, bro. You have the cliff notes. I don't.
Exactly. You've read the story and you have the author's notes as well. Like, don't fucking sit there and be like, yo, bro, this is so easy to understand, bro. It's like, dude, fuck you.
It feels so different being a manga reader versus like
It
watching it,
is.
but I think either way, like the payoff is still incredible, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes Jujutsu Kaisen one of like these kind of generational animes. Like it's gonna be one of the goats when we, are old and washed and cooked at 50. We'll be like, oh yeah, my Gojo tattoo. Let me show you that, kitty. Like, it'll be fucking one of the goats, I think. But you gotta enjoy the ride and like enjoy the explanation of things, and like watching these two episodes. You're hopefully, as a fan, you're like, damn, this is like really setting up incredibly well, both story wise and like action and animation wise.
All right, one last thing. Keep it real brief. All right. We got news this week. Tragic news. Mappa has aligned with the anime. They have aligned with Netflix. Now listen. We are all for anime, having more money, brought into it, shit like that. You know what I mean? We'd like to think that maybe, they could actually pay their employees and like they actually can go home and see their families. We know that's never gonna happen. But Netflix is the worst person I think to align yourself with because every time we talk about Netflix animes, it's always under controversy or something got fucked up. I mean, Fragrant Flowers, massive fuck up. Sakamoto Days, massive fuck up. We've seen the way they handled their originals. From now on, they have exclusive licensing to all Mappa productions. So all new seasons of Chainsaw Man, JJK, anything new that they drop, it will be through Netflix. Do we think that this could ruin some major series like JJK? Whether it's gonna be it's poorly received, the animation's not as good, it's rushed, or maybe just straight up killed. Because I mean, if you know Netflix and we're talking like not anime, some of their best originals, Netflix just was like, yeah, nah, we're good. They had so many really good ones that they just didn't make it past season 1 or season 2 because Netflix just ended it.
Yeah, and it's tough for me because like Netflix will give an anime like Jujutsu Kaisen like a huge budget. They'll ball the fuck out. Netflix makes a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And like an anime like that of that tier will be like really well received. It'll be really well done. But they're like, oh, well, we already do this. Their argument was Netflix already has a partnership with Mappa.
Yeah.
They exclusively streamed Ranma, which was really good. Ranma
Mm-hmm.
was very enjoyable. And one other anime I can't remember off the top of my head, but like, oh, we've already done this. But it's not at the same caliber as like, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, and whatever, Golden Kamui. Like, there's
Vinland
a
Saga
ton of
too,
things.
right?
Vinland Saga, yeah, like you could really restrict a lot of like top tier anime to a much more expensive streaming platform.
Yeah.
Like Netflix, I think is a lot more expensive than Crunchyroll. Again, like it's, you're talking about money here, but at the end of the day, like, I think Crunchyroll is still the home and the hub of anime.
Hmm.
It's owned by Sony, a Japanese company that has very big financial ties in the game. It's hard for me to say, like, yeah, I would love for an American company like Netflix, which I don't really know how much they're invested in the Asian market. They have a ton of K-dramas and Korean stuff. They have a lot of anime. They've really brought anime stuff over. But are you doing it for the right reasons or for money? So for you to partner with
It's
the
money
biggest,
because
are yeah, the biggest studio,
it's
like,
the greediest
where
studio
are
as
your
well.
intentions?
Like,
The the greediest, greasiest studio out there. And Mappa does amazing work.
yeah.
They don't have the best ethics. So it's hard to see these two companies maybe having like a fruitful and enjoyable partnership, but you hope it works for the best because Mappa does do some of the best titles out there.
It's literally like two people that you know that are the two biggest pieces of shit you've ever met get together, and you're like, ah, I hope they both die. Like that's great.
Yeah.
like Mappa does great shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like some of my favorite project, Hell's Paradise too. Like they do a lot of amazing shit. A lot of my favorite animes are from Mappa. But let's not pretend like,
Hell's
dude,
Paradise, yeah.
Zenshu. You know what I mean? Like that was comedic as fuck. The whole irony of it being done by Mappa, like just so fucking good. But it's just like, I feel like Mappa looks for new ways to make an extra dollar, even if it's at the expense of everybody else. And I feel like Netflix is like, that's our kind of language. And they also just fuck everybody over. Like the fact that they're also biased as fuck. Like Crunchyroll, if it's available, they drop it. Plain and simple. Worldwide, that's it. If it's just the Japanese dubs, that's all they have, cool. 2 weeks later, then the English, awesome, because that's what's dropping. Netflix would be like, okay, well, we're literally only going to premiere an anime in Japan. If you're in the States, you're in the UK, you're anywhere else, you know what I mean? You have to go fuck yourself and wait for the sub, for the dub, for it all. You know what I mean? We literally had to wait how many months for Fragrant Flowers as it was airing in Japan. They literally had the entire anime done and then they released it worldwide. So Netflix is super biased. They do things very poorly, and it's just like this is going to be a disaster. Also, they don't know ball. That is my biggest concern. You might sit there and look at like the
True.
biggest titles and like JJK and like Chainsaw Man and be like, oh yeah, like this is great. You know what I mean? Like we'll give you like a budget and like do well by this. But what about like shit like Zenshu? Zenshu was like not like that talked about, and it was a fucking banger anime. It was awesome. The animation was incredible. The music was phenomenal. You know what I mean? The story was great. The characters were great. It's like would they show that the same love? You know what I mean? Would they be like unbiased with it? Because I
Uh,
know that like Netflix has a decent catalog. It's not bad. They've had Hell's Paradise for a while. You know what I mean? They've had Vinland Saga. They don't have any sleepers. They don't have any deep cuts. You know what I mean? I talk about it. Hulu does, right? So like that's why I just didn't want to see like Netflix get it because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's just a fucking disaster. So hopefully it doesn't ruin the rest of JJK or any other Mappa series.
I don't think it'll ruin like the top tiers, but you're right. Like a show like Zenshu or Ranma will get the same love and attention based on the size of their studios. Like I
Mm-hmm.
really don't know how it works to that depth, but like will they get the same respect, budget, and love that a show like JJK would get? Well, probably not, but it's hard to believe Netflix will invest in like things that aren't incredibly profitable as seen by this move. So I don't love it, but I
Well,
think for the bigger tier names it is good.
I just mean that they'll sit there and be like, okay, well, Chainsaw Man's behind, right? So let's take funds out of this smaller anime and put it into there, and now the smaller anime sucks. The smaller anime got fucked over because you're like, oh no, this one's more important than that. Like, nah. You know what I mean? It treats it like. But I also think that they're gonna rush it. You know what I mean? I feel like they're gonna be like, hey, yo, we want JJK now. Like our partnership, we got to make money on this. You know what I mean? Let's like, how's season 2 of Chainsaw Man gonna look now? If it's gonna be extremely rushed or something like that, like. Mappa already overworks his employees. I feel like Netflix is gonna be like, all right, let's get to work. You know what I mean? And make it even worse. Yeah, it's gonna be a
They'll be
disaster.
cracking the whip for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like yeah, the scrutiny of like also you make a really good point with that because the scrutiny of like shrinking attention spans and like capitalizing on that will like we can't wait 4 or 5 years for another season. We need
Yeah.
it next year. Like we need to keep people entertained and like making this money.
Hmm.
I think that's a major part of it. I hate to say it, but it's true. We all have shorter attention spans. I think people are going to capitalize on that. Netflix is kind of the first to jump at it, and they have the money to make this a bigger focus on certain animes. And like you said, they have the money in the pool to influence one anime to do better than another, which for Mappa in the past really wasn't a problem.
Yeah, it's gonna be hopefully good, right? Like we be positive.
Hopefully,
Hopefully it's gonna turn out all right.
hopefully.
Hopefully it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be great. But there is other anime news, you know, about some other platforms. We're gonna get into that next week on the podcast, though. We have a lot to get into. There's a lot going on in anime, and with a lot of these banger animes that are absolutely dropping and premiering this winter season, it is beyond stacked and also beyond fucking goated. I mean, holy fuck, so many of these animes are so goddamn good. The fact that JJK isn't even number one to some people. All right, listen, to some people it's number one. I'm not taking that away from you. Don't come at my head. You know what I mean? But like the fact that it's not like the very clear, like, oh, this is the best that's out right now, and like there's like 10 that all compete. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh fuck, like this is really fucking good. It's a stack season. It's really hard to watch it all, but we hope you guys are enjoying because it is phenomenal. But that is it. We hope you guys are enjoying the start of JJK Season 3. It has been awesome so far. I know there's controversy with Episode 3, but it is going to end up being an important episode later down the line. The rest of the season is going to be fast-paced. We're going to have our fights, and it's going to be fucking awesome. I'm stoked for Episode 5. It sucks that we just got Episode 4 today. Yeah, I have to wait a whole another week. It's bullshit. But we hope you guys enjoy it. That is it, guys. Later, and peace.